What is up everyone, my name is Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon X and today's challenge will be kind of unique, kind of special. Today's challenge will be Can I Beat Pokemon X Hardcore Nuzlocke. It's kind of like a colored hardcore Nuzlocke, so it's basically yellow. We're going for yellow, but yellow doesn't sound that good, so we're gonna go with gold as our hardcore Nuzlocke. The rules are on screen right now. It's just a hardcore Nuzlocke. You guys should know what that is by now, but the rules are pretty simple. We only can catch shiny gold Pokemon and use them on our team, and it's one of the most important rule of each of my challenge videos. Each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments, so thank you so much for leaving a comment in the previous challenge videos that I post. If you guys want to be nicknamed after a future Pokemon in my future challenge video, just drop in the comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And while you guys are down there, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. Let's get into the challenge video itself. And to start off with, there is no golden shiny starter Pokemon, luckily, so we don't have to sit here and watch the 4-hour cutscene to get a starter Pokemon. Even though we're playing on fast forward mode, it still takes a long time to find a shiny Pokemon. But we're going to actually head into Route 21, which is going to be outside the first town that has a gym. And the first Pokemon that we're able to shiny hunt for is going to be a Riolu, which is actually interesting. We haven't used a Riolu since the fighting type Hardcore Nuzlocke. I'm not too sure when that was. But we're able to search it out into Route 21. And technically it's just yellow, but gold is pretty close to yellow. Just change the hue a little bit. That is a shiny Riolu. And this Riolu almost actually knocked out my Froakie, which would have been bad. Because I was thinking, like, can I use items right now? And you know what? I risked it. I went for a Pokemon, and lucky enough we catch the Riolu, and we don't have to worry about if I fainted and I lose the Riolu. That because it did take some time. Even though the odds are boosted, it does take some time to find these shiny Pokemon, I'm not gonna lie. And we're gonna actually head back into Route 1 after that. Since we already have our first Pokemon, we can go back to Route 1 and technically catch a second Pokemon, which does evolve into a gold shiny Pokemon. You know, I'm just bending the rules a little bit. We're able to either capture a Caterpie, golden for its only first stage, or a Pidgey that's not golden technically until it evolves into its Pidgeotto. And luckily enough, we found ourselves a shiny Pidgey. And it's gold enough, it's yellow enough to count as gold. You know, it's just a bronze goldish. So we're going to capture Pidgey and add it to our team and then head into the first gym of the game. From there, we're going to face off against Viola next. Viola is going to be the bug type gym leader in the game, which shouldn't be too difficult since we do have a bird on our team. We find ourselves, why didn't we start with the bird? We start with Riolu first, which is kind of annoying. But we're going to go for quick attacks. Multiple quick attacks will knock out the Surskit, and doesn't matter if she lowers her speed with Bubble. We're able to knock her out in 3 shots. Her next Pokemon will be a Vivillon. I don't want to stay in and get Infestation, because that would have been really bad. But our Pidgey does have Gust, and is able to 4-shot the Vivillon. Unfortunately, it's getting healed up, but we're able to basically knock him out with a crit. And down goes Vivillon, and we get a pretty good boost in XP as well. Pidgey doesn't learn any good moves. We can go into that rant way later, but Pidgey is not a great Pokemon. I don't know why they never updated Pidgey's moveset. But from there, we're able to go out to Route 6, I think. And here, there's a few more shiny gold Pokemon that we could find. But again, with the rules, we're going to catch one of them. We could catch ourselves an Esper or a Nincada, wherever shows first. We're able to find ourselves a shiny Esper, which isn't technically a shiny gold Pokemon, but it does evolve to a shiny gold Pokemon once it evolves, so we're gonna count it. We're not gonna use them until we actually evolve them, which shouldn't be too far because the level cap is at level 25. We're able to catch ourselves a shiny Esper and then head into Route 11 and then head into Route 8, which we're able to find ourselves a shiny Drifloon, which is going to be yellow from the start. So it's ready to go basically, and we're able to catch ourselves a Drifloon, add it to our team, and then head into Route 11 where we're going to honey hunt for some nose passes, which are kind of annoying to find, which aren't too bad to find since we have honey and we could just restart our game multiple times until we find ourselves a shiny nose pass, which isn't too difficult. This actually took like less than 10 minutes to find a shiny nose pass, which is funny. So we're able to find ourselves a shiny nose pass, add it to our team, and now head into the second gym of the game. The second gym in the game, we're going to face off against Grant. Grant is going to be the rock type gym leader of the game, and we're going to start the battle off against him using my fighting type, obviously. Lucky enough, Riolu has learned a fighting move in Force Palm and 1 shot to Amora and 2 shots to Tyron. Pretty simple, I'm not gonna lie. We never have trouble with Grant anymore. When I first started trying out X and Y Nuzlocke, the hardest thing was to face Grant in the second gym of the game because he was actually so powerful at the level cap he was at. At level 25 is actually very difficult to face off against Grant, but we're able to make quick work of him. And then our Esper actually evolves into a Meowstic. I forgot the gender was a male, so he's a male form Meowstic, and there you go, it's a gold shiny as well. From there, we're going to face off against Corinna next since there's not much for us to do. And again, our Pidgey evolves into a Pidgeotto, so it's now more golden. And its best move to take out Corinna is Gust, which is kind of embarrassing because I'm pretty sure this Machoke does knock me out if I stayed in. So I decided to go out to my Psychic type against her Machoke, and I'm able to Side Shock into him to knock him out. And then my Meowstic's able to survive any hits from the Hawlucha and then knock him out as well. and we're able to beat down Karina, which is pretty easy, nothing too difficult. As we're going to head into the Mega Stone Tower and get ourselves the Lucario Knight. It allows us to use a Mega Pokemon in our Hardcore Nuzlocke, which is pretty nice. And then from there, we're able to go out into the 4th gym of the game. We're going to face out against Ramos next. Ramos is going to be the Grass type gym leader in the game, and we're going to start the battle off against him using my Pidgeotto. Could have got Acrobatic. I feel like there's an Acrobatics team that I might have missed, but I'm going to keep using Gust. And probably the most embarrassing thing ever, I had to switch out my Pidgeotto to my Meowstic once again against a Grass type Pokemon. And finally, Meowstic actually knocks out the jump up for us. But the Go-Go comes out. I am able to do very minimum damage to him, surprisingly. So I decided to go out into my Drifloon against the Go-Go and basically stall him out. Even though I don't do too much damage against him, I am able to just chip down the Go-Go as he's unable to do any sorts of damage to me. And I'm able to knock out the Go-Go. His final Pokemon will be a Weeping Bell, which, looking up, I can switch out to my Psychic type Meowstic and Psyshock to knock out the Weeping Bell in one shot. And we're able to beat down Ramos. And from there, we have access to the Power Plant, which allows us to evolve our Nosepass, which I completely forgot about was on our team, into a Probopass. From there, we're also able to access the HM for Surf. So we go back into Route 3, and we're able to hunt out for our next shiny Pokemon, which is going to be a Water type, which is going to be pretty useful. We're able to find ourselves a shiny Marrow, which will be the last member of our team. We're able to catch the Marrow. Fortunately, it's green right now, but once it evolves, it's going to evolve into a yellow Azumarill, which will count into our shiny rules. And from there, we're able to face off against Clement next. Clement is going to be the electric type gym leader in the game, and we're going to start the battle off against him using my Probopass, go for a Power Gem, break the Magneton sturdy at the very least, and I'm able to switch my Probopass into my Lucario, which will Mega Evolve right in front of the Magneton, and I'm able to knock him out in one shot, which is pretty nice, with a Power Up Punch. So I'm able to go out and outspeed the Heliolisk and Force Palm to knock him out. I know my Lucario can possibly knock out the Mocha, but I don't want to risk it. I go out into my Probopass to Power Gem once again, and luckily enough, we're able to knock out the Mocha in one shot, end up beating Clement, which isn't too hard of a battle, surprisingly. From there, we're going to face off against Viola next, and I want to use up all my Pokemon and show off all the usage. I start the battle off against Valerie using my Azumarill against her Mawile, which will get Aqua Tail one shots down the Mawile, surprisingly, and I'm able to Aqua Tail once again, knock out the Mr. Mime, and her final Pokemon, which is going to be a Sylveon, actually takes a long time as she has Charm on her moveset, and I don't want to knock her down to red HP. I go to my Meowstic, I end up knocking her down to red HP anyways, so I just switch back into my Azumarill, hit him with the Aqua Tail, hit him again, she heals up, it gets really annoying. This part of the battle took the longest for some reason, but eventually, my Drifloon's able to outspeed, knock out the Sylveon, and we end up getting our 6th gym badge of the game, and we can move on. Again, here's a little rant that I want to go on about. Pidgeot, best move learning up is Wing Attack. The best move it has is Fly. It does not get any good moves at all. It has Roost. Amazing. What an amazing combination of moves. Pidgeot is so garbage. I don't know why it's so garbage. I like the look of Pidgeot. It's just a bird, but it looks really cool. Unfortunately, it's not a practical Pokemon. It's actually garbage. Everything else on my team has usage, it has power, has a good moveset. Pidgeot doesn't, and I feel bad for him because he's so garbage. I don't know why he was so useless in this Hardcore Nuzlocke. But from then on, we're going to face off against Olympia next. Olympia is going to be the 7th gym leader in the game, and she's also the Psychic type gym leader. We're going to start the battle off against her Sigilyph using my Drifloon, which surprisingly enough actually ends up 1v1ing the Sigilyph, which is amazing. And then I'm able to 2-shot down a Slowking, which is amazing as well. We're able to knock out the Slowking, and her final Pokemon will be a Meowstic, which unfortunately I fell asleep. So I just switch out into my Pidgeot next and Fly, and I mean, I went on a rant about the Pidgeot, but Pidgeot actually ends up beating Olympia with 2 Flies, which, I mean, maybe actually helps my point that Fly is his best move. But from there, we're going to go out into the Team Flavor hideout, and we're just going to clear through everyone, do the simple puzzle, which as a kid, these puzzles were actually kind of more difficult. Surprised looking back at them, they're not an issue at all. You could really just see it and just finish the puzzle. But as a kid, I was struggling to finish the puzzle over there. But from there, we're going to face off against Xerneas next. Xerneas is going to be the legendary. We're going to capture it, obviously. And then face off against Lysander next. Lysander is the final boss, the Team Flare boss of the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Lucario to Sword Stance in front of the Mienshao and take a high jump kick. This is very risky. I'm not too sure why I did that, but I think it's mainly because Lucario is the best sweeper on my team, and against Lysander, he matched up pretty well. Against the Pyro, I'm able to one-shot him. Against the Honchkrow, I'm able to one-shot him, and his final Pokemon will be a Mega Gyarados, which I'm able to close combat and also knock out in one shot. So we end up beating Lysander with just one fighting type Pokemon. I see how broken Mega Lucario is, so I decided to take off the Mega Stone and ban myself from using them, and then decided to face off against my rivals, which are pretty simple. We end up beating them without any issues at all. And then from there, we're going to face off against Wolfric next. Wolfric is going to be the ice type gym leader in the game. And we're going to start the battle off against him using my Azumarill, which also another bad play. He does have a grass move, I feel like. I'm pretty sure he has a grass move. I'm able to power punch twice against the Abomasnow to knock him out. And then he sends out his Cryogonal next. I'm able to hit myself in confusion, but then knock him out with a power punch, which is super nice. His final opponent will be an Nuzlocke, which even though I have a lot of boost with power punch, it still doesn't do enough. So I decided to go out into my Pro Pass to power gem into him and knock him out, which is free. We end up beating Wolfric, which isn't too hard of a battle at all. And from there, we make our way into Victory Road and clear through our rival and also Victory Road pretty easily. Get ourselves to the level cap and then head into the Elite Four itself. Our first Elite Four member we're going to face off against is going to be obviously Malva, because it's always the first one I face off against. Malva is going to be the fire type Elite Four member of the game. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Azumarill to waterfall into the Pyro to knock him out in one shot. Her Talon Flame comes out. I know it's getting Brave Bird, so I go out into my Pro Pass to Power Gem and knock him out in one shot. Her next Pokemon is going to be a Torkoal, which I go for a Power Gem pretty confidently. It lives it with like barely any HP and then goes for an Earthquake and actually knocks out my Pro Pass, catches me off guard, and we already lose a Pokemon on the first Elite Four member of the game. This is so annoying. I was going for the flawless run. I felt it because this game is pretty easy, but I got caught out by the Torkoal. I got surprised by a turtle. I just never seen before. Anyways, we're able to knock out the Chandelier, beat down Malva at the very least, and then face off against the next Elite Four member. We're going to face off against Drasna next. Drasna is going to be the Dragon type Elite Four member of the game. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Azumarill, which for some reason I did. I went for a Power Punch and then a Play Rough to at least knock out the Dragolich, which is kind of cool. Her next Pokemon is going to be an Altaria. I outspeed and knock out in one shot. Her next Pokemon is going to be a Northern. I decide to risk it and go for a Play Rough. Ends up knocking down the Northern, and her final Pokemon will be a Druddigon. I could have risked it here, but if I missed, it could have went for a Rock Climb and knocked me out, which it could have possibly happened. I go out into my Meowstic, doesn't do any damage, so it gets knocked out into my Drifloon. And I'm able to Ominous Wind into him, and then end up finally on my Lucario, and I'm able to close combat, knock out the Druddigon, and I'm able to beat Drasna. So 2 Elite Four member down. We're going to face off against Wingstrom next. Wingstrom is going to be the Steel type Elite Four member of the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Lucario to Swords Dance right in front of the Klefki. He sets up spikes, which is whatever. I'm able to Bone Rush, knock out the Klefki. And his next Pokemon is going to be a Probopass, which I'm able to Bone Rush, knock him out in one set, basically. And then his next Pokemon is an Aegislash. If I'm unable to knock him out with a Bone Rush, he's going to knock me out with a Sacred Sword. So I decided to go out to my Drifloon to do some huge damage against the Aegislash. Knocks him out in one shot. And then his final Pokemon will be a Scizor, which I'm able to Shadow Ball into multiple times. And then he goes for a Night Slash. He crits me and knocks out my Drifloon. At the very least, Aftermath procced, so I'm able to knock down the Scizor, but I lose a second Pokemon already, and things are just getting more annoying. Wingstrom knocks out a Pokemon. He never does that. He's just a garbage trainer. Oh my god. I can't believe I lose Drifloon over that. From there, we're going to face off against Sealberg, and I'm really hoping I don't lose another Pokemon against him. So we're going to start the battle off against Sealberg using my Pidgeot. I was very scared of just him knocking out my Lucario, so that's why I didn't set up with him. So I want to do some damage against the Clawitzer for sure. Knock out the Clawitzer, which is nice. He then goes out to his Barbarical, which I'm like, whoa, don't really have a switch in. I'm just going to sack my Pidgeot. Maybe I could just get rid of all the Stone Edges against the Barbarical. But he ends up knocking me out with a critical hit. So my Pidgeot goes down anyways. I decided to go out to my Azumarill next. Azumarill is going to Power Punch against the Barbarical, which ends up working pretty well. He ends up running out of Stone Edges, which is nice for us. I'm able to Power Punch and knock him out. Just barely. I take another X-Scissor. I'm low on HP. He gets another crit. Really annoying. Barbarical. He goes out to his Gyarados next, and I'm like, hopefully he doesn't go for an Earthquake. He went for an Earthquake, knocks out my Azumarill, and I have to go out to my Meowstic to go for a Thunderbolt, eventually knock out the Gyarados at low HP, and then his final Pokemon will be a Starmie, which sets up a Light Screen. I'm able to Thunderbolt twice into him to knock him out, and we end up beating Sealberg, and we lose 2 Pokemon, which is super amazing. So next up, we gotta face off against Dianther. Next, Dianther, we only have 2 Pokemon against Dianther 6, so we're gonna start the battle off against Dianther using my Meowstic. Meowstic's gonna Psychic into the Hawlucha just to start the battle off, just to knock him out. She then goes out to her Gourgeist, which I'm able to Calm Mind against. He's gonna go for a Phantom Force. I know I could live it, so I go for another Calm Mind against her. I don't take it pretty well, but I go for a Psychic eventually, knock out the Gourgeist, which is nice. Her next Pokemon is going to be a Tyrantrum, which I need to knock out in one turn. So I'm really hoping right now I knock him out with a Psychic. Luckily enough, I do end up knocking out the Tyrantrum with a +2. And then her next Pokemon will be an Aurora, which does live my Psychic, but I'm able to Psychic her twice and knock her out. I know this Goodra is going to live at least one Psychic, but luckily enough, it doesn't do enough damage against me. And I'm able to live a Dragon Pulse with 1 HP, Psychic down a Goodra, and knock him out. The Light Screen wear off, so I decided to go for a Side Shock against the Gardevoir, which ends up almost knocking him out in one shot, unfortunately, but it does catch me and Shadow Ball me. But this is her final Pokemon. My Lucario for sure outspeeds her. I'm going for a close combat because that's my strongest move. And I end up knocking out the Gardevoir, and we end up beating Dianther. And our last Pokemon will be our very first Pokemon, which is going to be the Lucario. We end up beating the challenge, but at what cost? We lose all 5 Pokemon. Basically, once a battle, we lost a Pokemon, which is very bad. I can't believe that actually happened to me, but stuff happens, I guess. But it's just so annoying. I can't believe I lost all my Pokemon like that. But anyways, that will be the end of the challenge. Was it pretty successful? We end up beating the challenge. At the very least, we use only gold Pokemon. I say it's a successful video. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end. It means a lot to me that you guys make it this far. If you guys can, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me. And if you guys, and I'll see you guys next time for more hardcore Nuzlocke and ROM hack videos soon. Anyways, my name's Ben Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day, and I'm out. Peace.